Welcome to the Lounge, everyone. My name is Toby Roydell, and today we talk about bad life choices and why personality always wins. Let's get the obvious out of the way first. In love, of course, there is physical attraction and cognitive attraction. Like there's looks and there's personality. If I'm going for a one-night stand, for whatever reason I would ever want that, I would go for looks. Because let's be honest, personality does not matter here. If I'm looking for a proper relationship, however, I should rather go for personality. That doesn't mean I have to ignore physical appearance entirely, but it shouldn't be 100% of my decision. But why am I saying this? Because I thoroughly believe that most people go for exactly that. Only looks, or mostly looks, and don't even bother and try to go and find out what's behind a facade of a person at all. And I do believe this doesn't only apply to younger people, where I would say this is kind of okay still. I mean, we're all learning at this point and we make some mistakes and we have do some bad choices here and there when it comes to selection of a partner. But so there's an excuse of sorts, but many grown-ups do the wrong thing here as well and go for mainly or only for looks. So TLDR is, most people still overrate physical appearance over personality. Even though it's all around us how important personality is and that everyone is looking behind the facade and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm not buying it. I really wish I had the data to back this up, but I don't. So I can just talk from anecdotes and stories that I've been told and that I've seen over the years. And man, if I had €1 for every story I heard from a girl who told me she had bad experience with a guy and why things went south and things that went wrong and why and how and what and ifs, I'd be rich. But what lies behind these stories of that many girls who have had bad experiences where they were treated in a bad way or at least questionable way by a guy? From the perspective of a dude, there are two main reasons for that. Main reason number one, inexperienced guys. Many guys just don't know how to care for girls or how to behave around girls. And the question is quite basic, how should they? They're inexperienced, they don't know how to. They maybe know how to behave around their mother or their sisters, but a girl in a romantic relationship, that's something completely different. So I wouldn't say that many things in the realm of inexperienced guys happens because of malicious intent and because they want to be a bad boyfriend or a bad partner for their girl. Not at all. They just don't know any better. And if I think about my first relationship, I did do many things wrong. I wish I did not do many mistakes, but I did, because I did know better. I learned from them, and continuing onwards, I'm not doing that many mistakes anymore. So it's a process of getting to know stuff with no malicious intent at all. This is the point of inexperienced guys. Main reason number two. Many girls cannot divide between genuine guys and assholes. And of both categories, there are a lot. A lot of genuine guys out there, a lot of assholes out there. And they just simply cannot divide between them. There are so many cases where I've seen a situation, girls talking to a guy, guys talking to a girl, where I thought, you girl do not want to continue this conversation whatsoever. You do not want to continue that. And 1 week later, I'm having a chat with her, asking her how did it go, or she walks up to me and wants to talk to me about it herself. by herself, and the story goes something like, I don't know what happened, and under tears probably she's telling me, this guy treated me so awful, he didn't care at all about my feelings, he was just going for this, for that, he wasn't interested in me, in the core of me at all. And I'm like, who would have thought? Didn't see that one coming. And the worst part is yet to come. The worst part is, she probably now questions herself what is wrong with her that she's been treated this way. Which is a completely absurd question, as I determined from second one that he's an asshole. So no question is there left to be asked. And this is not a talent of mine. I believe pretty much every guy has a very good sense of feeling other guys out if he's a complete prick, a complete asshole, or if he's not. Because guys are not blinded by the beauty of other guys that much, so we see behind the facade quite easily, or spend more time with other guys, so we know the types a little bit more. And we know ourselves, of course, as well. Now, don't get me wrong on this one. I'm not blaming any girl for making the wrong decision. We all do. I'm, however, blaming girls when they say it's the guy's fault for being the way he is. Even though that might be true, this is the wrong perspective. Don't try to change an asshole. Why bother? Don't try to change the assholes. Try to change yourself so you don't fall for all the assholes out there. Get your principles and life goals straight, and you don't fall into that trap again when you find out which type of guys, which type of boys fits you. And I'm just taking the female perspective for this example. It goes the other way around as well too. And then in the end, it doesn't matter how many assholes are all around us, male or female, because we can detect them from miles away. We see through the facade immediately, and it's not a problem to us at all that there are so many assholes out there, because they fall through right away and we can move on. And now we close the circle a little bit when we talk about attraction again. And our sense of attraction is ruined. It is absolutely ruined by so many pictures and so many images we see online, in magazines, TV, wherever we get in touch with them. And those beauty standards that are out there, and those absolutely ridiculously retarded beauty idols like Heidi Klum or the Kardashians, who are more a case for locked psychiatry than anything else. And I don't even approve of them being a means of entertainment, because being confronted with such a horrific ideology, it's just not healthy for anyone to even be confronted with it. This should be cut from life entirely for our own health and for our own safety and our own mental health. Those guys. And just as an example, don't you think beauty standards were always the same, with the slim blonde girl with big boobs and big butt were the peak of femininity or stuff like that, or anything alike? Not at all. There were a few hundred years ago, and this differs from part to part in the world. A few hundred years ago, a quite chubby man was considered very attractive, because a chubby man meant that he's kind of wealthy and can care for the people around him if he can afford enough food for himself to be this chubby. Those men were on the market, on the relationship and marriage market. Those guys were, they were up there. But what about the attribute intelligence? Intelligence is an interesting one, because I don't know if you can relate, but I had this quite a few times where I met someone and I found her really attractive on first sight. Then I got in a conversation with her and she started talking absolute rubbish, absolute stupidity leaving her mouth, nothing else than that. And after a few minutes, and especially after the conversation, I thought by myself, why did I even find this girl attractive in the first place? She's not attractive at all, because just the way she talked and what she was saying really put me off. And to make it even more simplistic, imagine you're a guy really enjoying football and listening to metal music, and you meet someone and you're open to the person, and the person, for whatever reason, talks about football being for idiots and metal only being for aggressive criminals. That person will not be attractive to you at all. She's down and out. And with that, I touched on another important part, and this is the last part for today, because when she says something like this, she lost her sympathy. Sympathy is another majorly important part, and in theory, it's only fulfilling attributes that someone likes and someone enjoys. And if they are not fulfilled at all, or quite the opposite is the case, then sympathy is never built or is simply lost. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed watching and listening to today's video. If you enjoyed watching and had a few thoughts here and there, that would make my day. My name is Toby Roydell, and I will see you again next time here in my lounge.